23:06, and we back like cooked crack. And this is the last stream I will do for 2K20 finally. Because you know 2K22 drops, and I actually have a PS5 now, and I actually can play next gen. Which actually this year, current gen looks pretty good anyway. One of my homies got both. I was vacillating through that, between that, before, cause like $80. But I'm gonna go in on VC, so I'm like, I'm just going next gen. Let's have a full-time job anyway, so. Who knows how much? I don't have viewers either, so who knows how much streaming I could put in for two different versions of 2K anyways. But yeah, this is the last run championship. Prodigy Starks, NBA 2K20, trying to tie up with the GOAT in my mind. Actually, I think Kareem's the GOAT. If I have to be unbiased, I think Kareem's the GOAT. But as far as my all-time favorite player, MJ is my all-time favorite player. He's the reason why I couldn't get the number that I want, that Prodigy has. Apparently, Miami Heat retired 23. So I had to go with 0, and there was some glitchy thing 2 years ago because Myers Leonard had 0, and they still allowed it to happen, so I never changed it. I just let Myers Leonard leave the team the next year. Then it was 1-0. But hopefully this year I'll be able to wear my actual number. And I'll probably be going to Toronto, Boston, Dallas, Pelicans, Spurs, or what was the other team? The Wizards. And I'll probably be going to college there. We'll probably narrow it down to Gonzaga, because I looked at Chris Smooth's video. So you get 4 badge points, I think, for winning a national championship. I think the G League you get some extra XP or something like that too. So I don't know. It's either way you kind of get something for each one. So we'll see. Doesn't really matter because I'm ready to see. I'm just ready to make my build. I really want to. I've been looking up the app because I really wanted to do my face scan. But 2K, as usual, always has to wait to the last minute to. I mean, I can't even find it like the usual way you find it. Like usually you can like look up 2K21, my NBA 2K21, and go through the more or the go through the other options on there, and you'll find it. I can't find it to download it early. Normally we've been able to do that, which I guess it makes sense because Chris Move, and I just watched some of iPod's video, and YG the Beast, I just watched a few seconds of his, and none of them have a face scan right now anyway, so whatever. I just want to get in there. I don't even want to start a quest. I want to build my guy, and change clothes. I hate the fact the first scene you're probably gonna be wearing a brown shirt regardless. So I watched Chris Move and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like y'all gotta cut it out with the brown. Like especially since pre-order and stuff like that, you give a shirt sometimes if you pre-order. Like this time, I think you get a Luka jersey or something like that. I'm like, bro, just give us a. How about just give us a shirt a white shirt that has the maybe not well this year a white shirt because that will look clean. A white shirt that has the 2K cover on it, and maybe some sweats that go with that design or something. Like some blue, red, and white sweatsuits with NBA 2K2 lettering on, going vertical down on the sweats or something like that.
First free throw is good.
Like y'all don't like to give nothing away for free. That's easy. That's a legitimate free thing to do. And nobody wants to wear 2K sneakers either. I don't understand that crap. But I probably won't be doing too much. Like everybody's gonna be on there the night after the football game. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to. I'll probably do my build. And then go to bed. I gotta go to work. It's funny because I've been off. Like I'm off today, but the day I actually needed to be off is the day I have to work. And it's a long shift. So it's like that's some bull. You can say, oh, you can take it off. Ain't nobody try to take off no hourly job like that. If it's salary based, yeah, I'd be like, yo. Salary based, you don't lose anything hours wise, or you don't shift around. And as soon as you shift something around, it's always like you gotta do somebody else. You gotta switch with somebody else. Bad schedule or something. Heck nah, man.
The Kings shooting their first free throws of the night. And that one falls for Allen. And the Heat making a change here. Drummond's checked in. And Allen drops them both. The Heat leading by 9.
I'm hoping I can get him to be a little bit taller on this game too, and still be able to have the max speed.
Yeah, Greg, they've come out of the gate.
Maybe 6'5", 6'6".
Just in total control so far.
Here's Copain.
Cause I don't think I'm gonna be. I think by 6'7", 6'8", you're gonna lose speed. Honestly, if you can get up to basically, you probably can get up to 92. If next gen does +5, then 92 would be good. But I don't know. Like I said, I'll see once I get on there. I don't know if I'm gonna. That's the thing. I probably won't stream because I'll be trying to, you know. It depends on how fast it says it's installed, so it depends on how fast it actually will load up for me to do what I want to do. That's all I really want to do is try to make a build right quick. And possibly do some cosmetic things and then jump in on the quest because I'm a serial my career player, so. And every now and then I go and play park, but it's not like it's not like the people I watch on YouTube. I don't do it like that. So I don't know. I like my career, man. I just do.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Come on, let's go. They want to tighten up with 9 bigs in the interior.
That's good from Bagley.
Come on, pass it, man.
Leading by 8. Here's Starks.
Wow.
That's to Forbes. The second effort, and it's Bagley getting it to go. Bagley's got 8 points.
Come on, man. I feel like 2K. Once he gets out of bounds, if I call for it, just let me get the ball out.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons
This team is in charge of this game.
Especially if nobody's in front of me trying to you know, get the ball back real quick. Should have tipped that at least. I like how it happens as later. So it lets me, to me, it just confirms that 2K knew that I was supposed to get the steal, and then all of a sudden he just loses the ball later on when I'm not even actually on him. It's like, oh, okay, that's what we doing.
Couldn't have been better on that assist.
Here's Starks.
Oh, come on.
Rebound by the Kings.
A fantastic effort on D to get up in his face and deny the layup.
Copain's shot is off.
It's been a really
Like, they really got like 9 bigs on this squad.
Starks goes in for the dunk.
And guys, that's not
I don't know how they managed to have that many big men.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. The Kings trail
Then
by
again,
8.
I guess if you got like their 2 guard is leading the league.
Here is Forbes.
If I wasn't leading the league in scoring, he'd be leading the league in scoring. He'd be number 2. He's number 2.
That's not a shot you should ever be giving.
So I guess you gotta.
He brings it up for Sacramento.
I guess it's kind of like constructed like my team. You gotta have.
Porzingis with the rebound.
You gotta have some bigs with you. But see, some of my bigs are wings. Well, not one of my big. The big Greek right here. He's a wing.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Porzingis is a stretch,
Right off the bat. I mean, jumping out
and
to
then
an
AD.
impressive early lead.
Well, AD can stretch the floor too. AD's like all around. Highlighted on defense mostly too, though. And
There's always been a power
Miles Turner and
game, and every
you know
time he
Andre
goes
Drummond.
to the bucket, you get a taste of it.
And
Or
Miami
what you call
calls
it.
their first time out of the
And
game.
then you got, of course, we got Blake too.
A chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
Well, that's what coaches are paid to do, right? I mean, curious to see what they go with here.
A different look for Miami. Griffin's checked in for Porzingis, and Winslow subbed in for Antetokounmpo.
Wow.
Bagley with the block, and even 3-on-3 break. Here's Forbes. A three-pointer's right on target.
Fully expected to dunk on that one. Not just give up the ball and not do anything. I understand there's a big in the way, but let me elevate. If he takes me out, take me out. But don't let me like just give it up. That's what I never understand that. You want to change the animation because a big's in present.
Offensive rebound.
He can block it for me trying to dunk it. Not me doing some weak layup that I knew I wasn't trying to do.
Drummond is putting the pass in the
Like,
ball.
I'm literally trying to elevate like that. Boom. Block it, though. Just the same way you took the energy, just the same way you took that same energy to block it off of give me that weak layup. Let me just dunk. Go for the dunk.
Leading by 9. Starks outside.
That's how you go home.
Wow.
Come on,
and
man.
that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Holmes passes to Bagley. 6 to shoot. That shot off. Great D that time from Griffin. Here's Booker. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
If the defense looks soft early on, they've got
D-Book.
to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Sacramento's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land.
Yeah, I'm excited about 2K22. Not like crazy excited because we know that 2K has their ways, especially the first week. They have sometimes they have hiccups, but from what we've seen on these guys that have been jumping in doing the New Zealand servers.
Miami going with a whole new group out there.
Personally, I don't care about making no build that early. Then, if I can't use VC and get my guys scanned in and stuff like that, I don't really care about that. I would love early access like that, but nothing like just.
That in a game.
I don't want to make another profile yet.
Miami. Starks is out there with Mitchell. And there's Porzingis.
Just to have to do
And
that.
There's Antetokounmpo. And it's Davis in at the center. Laurier, no good.
And on an open look like that, he's
Come on.
very gifted at making
There you go.
weak coverage pay. And they are attacking the rim.
If you run with me, I'll reward you. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want buckets, I ain't worried about it. I'm only averaging in the playoffs. I'm only averaging 6.9. Nothing like in the season. Season I had 11.5, which is pretty good. It's not my career best, but it's pretty good considering that I'm so ball dominant. My career best is like 15 something, and I was still ball dominant. Well, it doesn't matter. Every year, every season was, but that was like the maturation of being able to score 80 and still be able to drop 15 assists. But when you have the ball in your hand all the time, you can do that. Nice pass. Saw the mismatch, exploited it.
And their balanced effort at both ends.
Like, that's what I expect from you. I wanted him to drive and get me the assist when I pass it to you like that. But if you can throw an alley, or if you can get the teammate an extra, if you can get an extra smart pass, then fine. By all means, go ahead and do that. But all that pump faking and pivoting and delaying, all that type of stuff, I ain't with that. Let's get this money.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
450.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
4 rotations. I mean, slow help and just not enough toughness on the interior. They've got a lot to talk about.
Eagles.
Let's take this chance now to show you the list of the postseason scoring leaders. Look at Black Hole leading the league in points per game. Such a great player.
And I want to kind of see what my WNBA player is going to look like too. But that'll probably be tomorrow evening at the earliest. Actually, it might not even be that. It might be Saturday, Sunday. No, not even Sunday. I think Sunday too.
Great look, but off the mark. Here's Starks. Mistake on the slam dunk.
And this offense,
Like, obviously, I'll be playing these stuff in the evening, but
see how they're finishing their play.
Yeah, right now it feels like
I don't know when I'm gonna start the WNBA version then. Because of course, you know, you're gonna go hard on the on your first build.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Aggressiveness Bagley plays with is so impressive, mainly because he forces the deep to compromise.
And this will be his second and third shots at the line here.
You gotta be kidding me.
Both good from the line that time.
Yeah, well, not many players were sought after as much as Bagley when he was coming out of high school. I mean, just about every big-time college had him on their radar.
Move, nigga.
Here's Starks. And a lot of
I
contact
want
on
all
that
that.
one,
I want
so
all the
he'll
smoke.
shoot 2 here. It's on Jared Allen.
I still could. I feel like I could have got him over top
Attempts for the game right here.
in that situation.
And the first one at the line is good.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And both free throws good for Starks. Here's Horton Tucker. Outside, Bagley. Passes to Allen. Here's
This
Kobe.
might have been cold all game.
Shot from the top of the key. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
If he'd been even halfway decent today, the score would be a lot different, but he can't get anything to fall.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. Here's Kobe, covered by Starks. And
Yeah, having my back since they wouldn't try to. As soon as I got them locked down and tried to go for the block, they had me shift off of them.
And this is why coaches talk about playing
At like he ain't gonna
with
shoot.
pace.
See, the computer always, for me, it feels like the computer always has the benefit of the doubt of knowing what is going to exactly what's going to happen in that situation, especially Madden.
now Allen.
Ain't no way in the world you throw a pass and your guy is a slant and your guy hasn't even made it to his destination, but the defensive guy's standing right there,
No good.
ready to get it. I'm like, bro, come on. It's a slant. It doesn't. You don't take time to throw a slant.
Situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
You step back, you set your feet, you throw it. Especially what a slant is.
Nothing on the table right now.
Absolutely relentless.
There's no real delay. There's no real delay in that one. It's one of those ones you get a quick zip it in there and go.
Sacramento's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Copain passes to Poirier.
I just wish Madden would work on the receiver actually fighting for the ball.
Shot clock at 6.
A lot of those situations be one-on-one situations, and you be sitting there like, oh, that's what we doing. As much as us people complain about 2K, I will always say Madden is worse when it comes to that. You can overcome some of the stuff that 2K does, and you can to a certain extent with Madden, but it looks god awful at the end of the box. The box score looks god awful at the end of the day.
Covered by Starks.
In other words, you can have a game where you legit threw 4, I don't know, maybe even more than that, 4 picks and still win.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. Starks. From start to finish. That's something.
Honestly, anything more than about 2 picks is pretty bad. So once you get to the three, it's like
you said. Allen left side. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
but you can have an all-star game. You can 2K can put you on a turnover, a bad shooting run, and you can still have a 81 and 81, 11 and 5 type of game.
First half of basketball. Starks with the steal.
What you gonna do with the Greek?
Sacramento grabs the miss.
We don't condone that.
5 rebounds tonight. Pass to Horton Tucker.
That's all.
Hands it
Up in
from
there.
downtown.
Good job, buddy.
Tucker's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Oh man, the coaching staff
Like,
likes when
whatever.
athletes being
Shouldn't have
unselfish.
made that crap.
Habits like this bring the team closer together.
A shot by Starks, no good.
He usually takes advantage of D like that. Should have been a simple layup.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Pass to Poirier. Over
That's
Mitchell
awful.
again.
Nice shot.
77.
Type of D, that's not going to get it done.
See how AD just ran and just went ahead through it? I didn't have to call for it. That's all I need y'all to do, 2K, on a consistent basis. That's what I was talking about. I still think I should have made that dunk, regardless. I'm complaining regardless. But at least you gave me the benefit of the doubt of raising up and dunking. $15 minutes till kickoff.
And so it's Miami closing out the quarter.
This is like watching
They have made it very tough to
well,
get a
not like
shot
the
off
Super
against
Bowl,
them. Their
but
defense
the
has
Super
been
Bowls
stifling.
are more intense.
Right
But
back
the
into
opening
this
days, like this opening day matchup, is like watching Patriots and the Giants in the Super Bowl. If you're not a Buck fan or a Dallas fan, you really don't care that Tom Brady wins or that the Cowboys win.
And we're back with you as these two teams do battle in their quest for
But you
an
still want to
NBA
watch because
championship.
football.
Really an incredible game from Black Hole.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space.
Can't die for it.
In the first few quarters.
I mean, I didn't click it fast enough in that instance, but I've done that before, and dive does not happen all the time the way you want it to.
Porzingis with the rebound.
Come on, let's go.
Porzingis has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Starks powered down with both
The
hands.
disrespect.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't
Honestly, I deserve that because they just stopped me from just like you can evade people in 2K. You don't always have to bump bodies and stuff like that.
Sacramento's gotten the three-point bucket.
To stop
They've taken
somebody's flow.
15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Here's Forbes. And no good that time.
You have to understand, my guy is 90, has 99 speed and 99 acceleration.
Tough to finish it off. Beauty.
Caught a body.
Goodness, that was absolutely.
He got up like he didn't get dunked on.
This building is stunned. He dug deep
Like his teeth didn't
into his bag of
just
tricks
taste
there.
all that
But he'd
wood.
have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line.
Got up hype for what? Want me to sign the poster or something?
Free throw good. Starks.
That's the number 2 score. Number 2 scorer too. I dunked on it. The league leader. On the league leaderboard is number 2 scorer.
Over to the left
I
wing.
think he's number 2 in playoffs too.
And once again off the mark by Sacramento.
I don't know what they threw up at halftime. It ain't working.
I don't know. I think I named like 5 or 6 teams for y'all that I want to play for, but I think I've narrowed it down to even a little smaller than that.
Yeah, a cold stretch off.
I just said them all
for sure.
Now the
because
pass to Horton Tucker. Knocks down the 3
the last stream I did, I had way more than that.
They needed that.
I had at least half the league
4 straight misses to start the half.
because that was just after the draft too.
Starks.
When you allow good
But yeah, I named
scoring,
Toronto,
contested shots at the
Boston,
rim,
Dallas, New Orleans, Washington, and the Spurs.
It appears they may be on the brink of giving up.
pass to Forbes.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to Toronto or Boston.
The shot off that time. And Miami.
Honestly, if I go to Boston, I
Here's
would make a big
And again.
at this point.
He's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the
Toronto,
offense
I'd probably make
and
another
really
guard.
taking it to the opposition. Pretty much automatic tonight at the line. 8 for 8.
If I went there.
Free throw
These are
good.
secondary
Starks.
builds. If I go there, if I went to those
Sacramento's
teams.
gotten the three-point shot off
if
16 times tonight, 7 times
Dallas,
they hit,
I'd
9
probably still
times
make
they
a
missed.
guard or. I don't think they really mean it.
Here's
Well,
Horton Tucker.
I guess you can bring a big over to
He's got
Dallas
8.
too.
He dishes it to Bagley.
Come
5
on,
to
buddy.
shoot. Here's Coping. And Davis sends it back. On the wing, Mitchell. Goes up the baseline.
Nice shot.
That
Nope.
shot off the mark. Here's Coping. Covered by Starks. Again, missed by
Zion,
the
of
King.
course. Of course, you got Zion. I'd probably make a.
He might have been better off taking it to the hoop instead of settling
If
for
it
the
was
jump.
secondary, I don't know.
Here's Forbes. Made that
They already got
pass.
Jackson Hayes. He's a big. They got a couple of bigs. So
Don't forget about this
I
fella
probably
for
still
a
would make another
second.
another
The
guard then.
definition of dangerous.
Either of them. Maybe a 2 guard in that situation.
This game has his name written all
Because they are lacking shooting.
He's been
So
phenomenal.
probably a 2 guard or just a guard that its main focus is shooting.
3.5 minutes have gone. Starks with the steal. He got it again. Sensational.
make that 61 point.
Yep, everything is going
Blake
his way right
coming
now.
out here.
One after another, he's been terrific at the line, going 9 for 9. The Heat making a switch here. Andre Drummond's checked in for Davis. Blake Griffin comes in for Porzingis. Winslow's checked in for Antetokounmpo. Robinson is subbed in for Donovan Mitchell. A 3-ball. Forbes can't get it to go.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open.
Oh, great dunk!
Freakish athletically.
That's
Wow.
how you do it.
Save that one, boys.
Washington, I'd probably make a wing. I think Washington might have the most holes to help Bradley Beal in that situation. You might be able to get a big, a wing.
That's gotta energize his team.
whether it's the 3 or the 4.
Here's Copain. Still looking for
Because you
his
can still
first
make a
bucket in
4
this
that
one.
has wing type
Touches it all
attributes.
tonight, and now his judgment is on.
So make it kind of stretchy, and maybe a little bit of slashing type abilities type of
Agility
thing.
on display. And Copain's got
And
the ball
guard,
here for the
obviously.
King.
Because they don't.
Here is Forbes, guarded by Robinson. Forbes.
I mean, I don't try to eliminate. I don't try to play with people that are exactly have a bad team. Like, I mean, look at this one. This one, I spent 6 seasons with the Heat on this installment. So I mean, like, yes, you had Dragic, you had Jimmy Butler, you had Myers Leonard, you had Bam out of Bayou, you had Tyler Hero. So it's like you had a good nucleus to start. You had a good young veteran presidents too. Some young guys, and you had some veteran presidents. And you know you always have Udonis Haslem, even though I don't even think he was on the roster, to be honest with you. But you know you technically have him on there as veteran presidents.
Sacramento's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Pass to Forbes.
So we'll see.
Shot from 12, and it's Miami with the rebound. Drummond's got 7 rebounds in the game.
Just can't find the touch this quarter. He's got to keep grinding though and looking for the best shot
I
possible.
don't know. I think I've narrowed it down to 3 or maybe even 4.
That's how he's earning his points.
Spurs don't have really nothing for me though.
He's got 19.
And I would be competing against guys
Top
that
of
are
the
just,
key, Outlaw.
they haven't made any real imprint.
Outlaw's got
Like
10
sometimes,
points.
usually I'm going somewhere there's not a guard, influence or whatever.
Yet another bucket.
Like here, he had Dragic. Dragic's a good guard, don't get me wrong, but he's getting older, and and I think his contract was going out. So there was 2K don't focus on contracts like that.
Cole's gonna pick up the foul.
If he had re-signed, he would have been a backup anyways.
Sele, he's checked in for the Kings.
So,
Heat also with the sub. Booker, he's checked in for Robinson.
but for the most part, I'll try to do where you have a hole. And sometimes there's not a hole there. Like Spurs, there's not really a hole, but there's not nobody that's elevated their game to make you go, oh my God, that's the guard. You know what I'm saying? Or oh my God, that's the guy that plays the 3. Like Spurs got Lonnie Walker. He hasn't really done anything to make you think that he's necessarily gonna take over the crown, you know, from the Ginobili's, Tim Duncan, you know, that cloth that was there, you know, Kawhi, stuff like that.
Against that length.
Yeah, the defender just couldn't quite
So, I
close
mean-
the gap all the way. They got burned for it.
Who else? You got DeJounte Murray.
Interior right now, 10 straight points coming
So, I
from
mean,
inside.
None of those guys. So that may be one of the weaker teams to go to as far as rosters or whatever. But it's still a viable option. I still got a few more hours to make a definitive decision. Plus, by the time I could think on it at work. Because like I said, I'm probably not gonna really actually get to play a game until. I mean, you gotta play G League or college first anyway. So.
Teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
But yeah,
Still waiting for that first miss.
going to Washington would be fun because I personally like Bradley Beal. I think a lot of us that actually watch basketball like Bradley Beal, and it's obvious that organizations and his peers like him too in the NBA because he's always in trade talks. He's been in trade talks for the last 3 years. That's why I think that Bradley Beal's rating on NBA 2K22 was a jip. You don't get talked about like that if your rating is low. You're not in trade talks like that unless you just become a part of a package.
Here's Starks. And foul
This is
on the
not a part
shot.
of the
So he'll
package.
get
This
it
is
to
the
line.
package that somebody's trying to get. Luke Walton on the sideline.
Free throw good. Starks.
Back in the finals, but as a coach.
And both free throws good for Starks. Sacramento's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Sacramento moving it around. And another 3 for Sacramento.
Come on, let's go.
Perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion
Miles, give it back.
at halftime.
But it had to be. These days, you need to stretch.
I
the
love
floor
how
somewhat
you
to
can.
make
What
everything
what
else work.
what purpose does that serve, 2K?
Sacramento's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball.
He legit just pivoted for what? What service did
The
that?
rebound by Turner.
You are just wasting absolute time. And you wonder why I'm so ball dominant. I don't like that kind of stuff on there.
And the Kings
You're supposed to be trying to. You're supposed to be moving the ball around or something. If you can see me. I'm not even calling for the ball at this point. You can see me moving around, just trying to give him an option, or just get the other players move around to have another option. This mug just pivoting the whole time. Honestly, if Miles had gave me the ball when I called for it, that would have solved that problem regardless. But he wanted to give it to Winslow, and Winslow wanted to do some pivot dance for no reason.
And here's Starks.
And he just keeps on going. He's got more points than anybody
But yeah,
else.
I don't know. I think I'm higher. I think I'm high on Dallas, because Dallas,
Here is Forbes.
like, let's be realistic. That's what I was telling my homie. I was telling him, I was like, we have to keep in mind that the league has went back to having big threes.
Find a very good shot on that
Like this last year, which I didn't get to play obviously because I didn't have a PS5, but I mean this last year was the year to you can go somewhere and be the. You could have went to Dallas and been the only big three,
And for Sacramento,
basically.
they're shooting 38%
No, well
from the
that
field.
changed. That changed
Showing for them.
very quickly in the season because Brooklyn. But when the game dropped, you could have, because Harden wouldn't have been on there. Your first build, Harden wouldn't have been on there too. So you would have been able to,
The lead from getting any bigger.
yeah, you realistically would have been able to dominate that situation as far as big three, because Lakers didn't have that, and neither did Brooklyn at the time.
And closing the shot, even with
So
the
that
foul.
was the year to do that. This year, now you have some big threes. Now you got, Milwaukee has got pedigree, championship pedigree, because it just came off of that,
Free throw good. Starks. A different look for Miami.
So you
Porzingis is
have to
coming in
kind of
for
make a decision. Do you want to join Dallas to be a big three? For me, I'm leaning towards Dallas, New Orleans, and Washington. And Washington is closer to what I was saying about the Spurs situation. I mean, you got Bradley Beal. That'd be a nice 1-2 punch.
Edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And plenty of
I'd still be on the
contact
East.
right
It
now.
really don't
So
matter
two
East
free
or West.
throws
I mean,
coming
West is gonna be tougher, obviously, because you have more. You have to play, but you got to play the West regardless. You're gonna be competing every night against a tough team.
Good. Starks.
But even if I pick Dallas, New Orleans, or Spurs, I'm playing the same teams in the division. Dallas, New Orleans, and the Spurs are in the same division. I was looking at that earlier too. I was looking at divisions. Toronto and Boston are in the same division. Washington's in the division that I'm in currently on this game. So I'm very familiar with this division,
And so far are going for more of an inside presence.
which is not all that great considering
Three-point shot.
I would have to play the Heat. Obviously, I'm Washington, so Washington's not really better than the Heat or anything. I'll have to play Orlando. I'll have to play, those type of teams, stuff like that. But I don't know. It's going to come down to what superstar I want to play with the most, basically, or upcoming player, I should say. Luka probably is considered a superstar out of all these. I don't know if Bradley Beal's universally considered a superstar, and of course Zion is going to year 3. He's just a young phenom right now, not really a superstar or anything.
Starks with the steal. 1 second left. The shot missing. And so it's Miami holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And don't go away.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I've narrowed it down to at least 3 at this point. Cause I don't think I'm going to the Spurs. It comes down to Beal, Williamson, and Doncic. So Luka, Zion, and Bradley.
While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on a platter and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
Cause they said at 7.
Griffins check in for the Heat. Starks comes in for Goodwin. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Here is Forbes. Bagley kicks to Forbes. Three on the clock. Takes a 3.
That's off.
Poirier,
Let's go.
no good.
They've shown some strength
Wow,
in the paint.
that's what we're doing.
Their work on the boards has been impressive.
On the court for the Heat. Robinson is out there to start.
Good shot contest, but you didn't put me in position to actually contest it the way I wanted to. I don't block the crap out of it. If I'm there, give me that chance.
He's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
Are they playing at Dallas or are they
The
playing
Kings have gone 5
in
of 10,
Florida
50%
with the
from
Bucks?
field.
Tampa Bay.
Pass to Bagley. To the paint.
I never actually looked at the versus part of it. I just knew they were playing each other, and of course it's first
Nice pass. I mean, putting in work
First game,
on the
so you know.
interior, gotta love it.
sports fanatic that I am. They're playing in Tampa.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrap.
Just a remarkable gem. These
How many
fans'
times y'all gonna
jaws
show him
are
holding
on
the
the
Super
ground right now.
Super Bowl trophy. Aight, we get it. We get
Here's
it.
Barber, and it goes out of bounds. That went off Robinson. And the Kings making a change here.
Tom Brady with his tight pants on. His wife picked out for him. Okay, Dak looking kind of clean. No, Tom looked clean too though, color wise. It's like the neutral. It's kind of he has these neutral colors on. I guess you could call it.
Pass to Poirier.
Dak look clean
Sacramento
too.
moving it around.
Two different type of clean.
Here's Barber, covered by Starks. From deep three-point range, but they recover it.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many
Yo,
rebounds
come on, bro.
offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them
Tony
today.
Dungy.
Who knows what this score would look like
Good breeze.
if he wasn't on his game tonight.
And the Heat making a change
Yep,
here.
it's Breeze.
Drummond's checked in.
Drew Brees.
Here's Starks, and it's blocked. And they're able to recover. Drummond finds
Thank
Griffin.
you.
Drummond,
Oh my
great
goodness.
positioning on
My
the
bigs
putback.
could never make shots.
Rebound, and Drummond
You
judges
wonder why?
shots, trajectories.
What made 2K20 so easy is, like I said, my slashing build being so overpowered for one,
Guarded by Robinson.
and my teammates won't do what they're supposed to do. So you're like, cool.
Again, the miss
You
by
don't
the
want buckets? I'll
And
get
it's Drummond with
buckets.
the ball. They'll bring it up Starks.
The goal is always to be a little bit better than Oscar or Wilt or Jordan. So like, in that combination, obviously, if you want to be better than Jordan or Oscar, you at least got to score 30 to a certain extent.
Griffin on the double team.
Now you may not be able to do the triple doubles like Oscar did, because my build, like current gen builds, will make you lack at rebounding. So not that I can't put myself in position to do that, but you know I am 6'3". They're not gonna give me the benefit of the doubt on the game all the time like that either.
That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't
Because I had it
believe he pulled
easier.
that one out in the course of an actual
I think
game.
2K18 was
For Sacramento,
when
they've
I was
gone
able to
8 of
do
16
that,
from the field in the fourth,
do both.
exactly 50%. Here's
when I was
Forbes.
able to pretty much pull a
At the
Westbrook,
line
like
by
average a
Sacramento.
triple-double in the season. Same type of build, but, well, not same type of build, same size. It was more of a
Here's Starks and blocked.
shot
That one
creating
goes
slasher
careening
or
off the
something like
glass.
that.
That shot by Griffin, no good.
He's been off the
Because I think 18 and 19 I had shot creating in my build. 17 it was just a pure shot creating because we didn't have double
And the foul
archetypes.
called on Blake Griffin. That's foul number 2 for him.
Oldest average of age out of an active NFL roster, 27 to 25 days. Doesn't matter when you win.
They double him with
See,
Drummond.
people are
Now that's
hee
the
hee and
opposite.
ha ha and about the Lakers right now being the oldest team, and there's been teams that they pulled up the Bulls team, their age and their average and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. It depends what you can do at that age.
Kings making a change here.
Like when Karl Malone and Gary Payton went to the Lakers, I was like, nah.
Miami's
Well, I
been
went like, nah. That was
outside
my
the arc
first,
since
probably
we
one of the first
reached the
early
fourth
examples
quarter. Got a piece
of that. I was like,
And that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain
it didn't work
possession.
out. And then when I saw Jay Kidd and some of these other guys, later on go to the Knicks, I was like, that's when I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work, because I was older. And I had seen this. So it depends how the roster is constructed. What do the guys still have left in the tank? And if they have, like, not saying Gary Payton didn't have something left to tank, he went to the Heat and won and was able to, but he wasn't the catalyst to put him over the hump either, though.
Here's Copain.
He wasn't going to be a defining factor in that situation, though, him or Malone.
Right wing, just 4 to shoot. And
You had to put them in smaller roles than what they were in that situation. And then you have to add the factor that Shaq and Kobe weren't really seeing eye to eye anymore. And in retrospect, you really can't blame Kobe for feeling how he feels, because Kobe expects a certain level of excellency to come through, but Shaq's like, I'm gonna play
passes it to
into
Ford.
my playing weight.
He's off on that one.
Like, Shaq
Good
was
feed
not
by
gonna work out in the
Clark.
offseason.
Griffin passes to Starks.
It is what it is, or it is what it was
Clark
in
gets
that
to Starks.
case.
It's hauled in
Which
by
doesn't
King.
make sense, but let's be realistic. A lot of us wouldn't be working out crazy like LeBron or Kobe. And there's like most of the league is not doing some of the stuff that some of the most elite players, or you don't even have to be the most elite. It's just like most players are not out there doing that daily like that. I will give props to some of the younger guys. The younger guys, because that's pretty much how they've had trainers for the most of their life. So it's kind of, for some of the young guys, it's been ingrained in them. Now, does that stay when they get to the league? Who knows? Because like you're an adult, you might do what you want to do in that situation.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Heat making a change here. Turner's checked in. He's perfect from the line this
But
time.
you would think they have a better chance of sustaining that just because they're kind of used to having trainers
So 2 free throws coming up.
and playing all year long AAU, high school basketball, and stuff like that. So
Free throw good. Starks.
but who was gonna Shaq? Who was gonna stop Shaq during that time frame? You could put Shaq in during any era. Like, obviously, it's gonna be a learning curve because he had to go through a learning curve in his era. Because Olajuwon mollywop that nigga.
Here's Starks. And it's Ford with the
So I
rebound.
mean, like, obviously you go through a learning curve, but once Shaq got it under his feet,
The offensive rebound.
he's the most dominant big I've ever seen.
No box out.
Oh, it's simple. When you fail to put a body on someone, you're inviting a breakdown on the defensive glass.
Starks. And Turner kicks to Drummond.
Come on, let's go, man. Y'all
Again,
stop
it's
with
tipped,
this
but they'll get
foolishness.
another chance.
You want to play
They
defense
retain
now.
possession. Here's Starks, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Yeah, easy call.
Free throw good, Starks. The Kings making a switch here. Forbes checked in. Good on both. Here is Forbes.
Hopefully she's not picking up on my
Game
mic.
3 of the NBA Championship
Because I don't
Series
want to
is
hear you in my
all
stream.
in the books. Congrats are in order tonight.
'Cause if I can hear you in my room, god
A
damn.
well-deserved victory for the Heat.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Black Hole.
He had a nose for the basketball tonight, playing some disruptive D and picking pockets left and right.
This is disrespectful, man.
So it's Sacramento.
But I don't know what y'all expected. This is like Jordan. This is like the second coming of Jordan coming to him.
Good rebound by Turner.
It's
And
like
Goodwin with the
Jordan,
ball for the
Oscar,
Heat.
Wilt
Starts, dishes to Drummond, and it's Drummond with
combined
the
together.
jam.
And it's just competing, you know, giving
You
your
know what I'm
best
saying? Like
when it
coming
matters
to
most.
wreak havoc in
This
this
is what
era.
guys play for, and when it pans out
Like
this,
somebody's
it's
got to
a great
come to
feeling.
like. Well, that's what we're waiting for. Is Greek going to be able to continue to hold that mantle?
Here's Gibbs. Again, the miss by
Because
the Kings.
let's be realistic. LeBron's
Here's Starks.
era's over.
And another one falls.
That doesn't mean he doesn't win a
This game
championship.
has his
We're
name
talking
written
about
all over it.
Greg,
as far
he's been
as
phenomenal
there's a reigning.
offensive
You have a
onslaught.
time frame where you reign as the premier player. So who's the next player? Is it Greek Freak? Is it Jason Tatum? Is it,
It's only a matter of
you know what I'm
time
saying?
now
Is
for
it some of the
Nuggets
other
until
guys?
the
You know,
series
the
is in
Bradley
books.
Beals, the what?
This
You know,
victory all
stuff like that.
seals the deal.
Who's
As
gonna
long as they
terrorize-
look throughout
who's
this
gonna
game
terrorize
and
the
this
league?
series, I'll be shocked if they don't close it out in game
Who's
two.
gonna truly take it over?
Three of the NBA Finals. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and
It's up for grabs
this is Kevin Harlan.
because you don't really have, unlike LeBron and KD, Curry and all them, they kind of crossed each other out to a certain extent. Yeah, LeBron was the ultimate, you know, guy that had the year of dominance because, you know, he kept going to the finals. But well, KD got championships because he went to the Warriors. So technically, but statistically wise, he was dominating as far as like KD can give you 30 easy. So, but I mean, they kind of
The 2K Sports.
a lot of them
postgame
butted
show.
heads when Jordan was there.
Hey again, everybody.
Jordan did have to go through, you know, he came in, Magic and Bird were winning, so he had to go through. He had to see that, you know, and then Isaiah was beating all of them. Isaiah beat
Hey, it's
the
Shaq. You guys
Bulls,
stomped that team.
Bulls,
I mean, literally. It wasn't even close. When
Boston,
did you realize this
Lakers,
game was yours to lose?
76ers. He beat all the premier teams, and that's just, well, Bulls weren't premier during that time
Hey,
either.
man, I think the key for
But
us
they
was
had
to
MJ.
never get comfortable having the lead. Treat the game as it was
So, I
dead
mean,
heat all 4 quarters, you know what I'm saying? Because as
it
soon as we
depends.
left that gas pedal against
What's
a team
up?
like that, boom, your advantage is gone.
I didn't see your
So
comment.
we didn't feel like we had the game
bad.
until it was obvious, too late. You know what I'm saying? For them to come back.
Man,
So
wow.
King, T-King,
And we hope you're enjoying the NBA Finals as much as we are. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. There will be more NBA
boy.
Finals action
Well,
right around the
this next game we can sweep them. I'm on PlayStation 5.
This is Hank and the Hornet on 98.9 The Flex.
I transferred 2K20 over here once I got my PlayStation 5 so I could finish the rest of my career thing. And I really drug out these last 2 weeks because I could have been knocked out this championship situation, but here I am the last day before 2K22, trying to knock out the rest, and we going all black. Well, they're not all black, but it's mostly all black. Back shoulder throw from Dak. Oh, suited and booted. Prodigy Starks. Will this be his last game? Donovan Mitchell. Greek Freak. The Unicorn. But that would be so, I've said this before, but that would be so demoralizing to a certain extent. If you see my squad come in, you got Greek, KP, Miles Turner. Like, I'm talking about just height. I'm not even talking about the type of players they are. It is kind of demoralizing to have Greek and KP and some of these guys on it, because KP ain't really played up to par in real life how you would hope he would, especially not in the playoffs. It was pretty much Luka in the playoffs. But I mean, just the optics of that is ridiculous. And then I have Winslow, and I have I got these wing players too. I got Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker for the last season. They just trying to get rings. They're ring chasing at this point. Because 2K allowed me to get those guys too. I'm like, what the heck? I got Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, and somebody else this last season off of free agency. I'm like, ring chasing. They got a little concert. Ed Sheeran.
Behind the scenes action. The team preparing for perhaps its biggest game of the season so far. Right here on 2K Sports. This is an aerial view of our location today, Sacramento, the capital of California. We're on the verge of a clean sweep, a 3-0 start to this year's NBA Finals. We'll see if they can pull it off.
That's one thing I wish 2K would do too. Update the stadium. When you start winning, put the banners up. I know they show it like in the cutscenes and stuff like that, but when you pan the stadium and you see those jerseys up there and stuff like that, like obviously my jersey's not gonna be up there because I'm still playing. But I'm talking about the banners. I've won championships. So those championships banners should be up there along Dwayne Wade and LeBron James and Chris Bosh. And if they put records up there too, it should be riddled with my record. That's why I like playing my career, because it's narcissistic. You could be. I'm not really a narcissistic, but I'm just saying, like you can be like that with 2K on my career, because it legit is all about you. And I still was a good teammate, just by the averages at least. My usage rate is horrible. Maybe they treat me like Westbrook, because my usage rate is ridiculous. And in the playoffs, I'm not really passing the ball. So if you don't cut to the basket, you ain't getting it. Basically, I truly intend to try to score 100 in the playoffs, because it only makes sense. The goal is to try to average 60, just to be better than Wilt Chamberlain in that situation. But since 2K20 had me elevate to like 80 with ease with this build, because my other builds, they average around 60, pretty much 50, 60, around that. It's above 50 most of the other builds.
I was surprised they put up so little fight. That was not the team I expected to see. That
but come playoff time, then you gotta ratchet up more. So I'm gonna go 70, 80. But since my guy was averaging 80 off the rip, then I'm gonna go 100 in the playoffs. Ooh, shouldn't have done that. Thanks for the easy steal. Teamwork make the dream work.
Unselfish play by Davis. He understands that his scoring could only take this team so far. He needs
All I did was stand in the wrong, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. It was not me attempting to steal it. They just threw it in the wrong. They just threw it at the wrong time on the inbound. Like, okay, cool. Not the smartest thing for the computer to do in that situation. And we going to the line. That's the other thing. I gotta go to the shoe store and get some gold sneakers. Gold 6s. Let me clarify that. Gold Jordan 6s. That's if they have one like that. On 2K20. Let's go. AD with the lay. That's all you need. That's all I need you to do. Or rim graze or something. That's what I need you to do. I don't need you to hesitate. I don't need you to pump fake. I don't need you to pivot. Because 2K, you don't understand what those things are used for, apparently. Honestly, actually, they do understand what it's used for. They have them do it in the game to cheat. That's cheating. I don't give a darn what anybody say. You don't pivot when you're not supposed to pivot, and you don't pump fake when nobody's around.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an.
That's another thing I need to be thinking about. Well, I don't have to think about it right away, but I do need to look at, see what the free agent, it's going to look like for, what, 2022, 2023, I guess.
Here's Copain. 5 points in the game.
Because depending on where I go, especially if I go to Washington, we're going to have to make some changes. And more than likely, they don't let you. If 2K's always been the same with trading doesn't work like that. It makes sense for me. I'm wide open in the lane going left. It makes sense for me to go right. And go right into his hand, blocked right into his hand. That's right.
Another three for Sacramento.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Now y'all want to play. It's interesting. You're going to put yourself in trouble, buddy. You're going to put yourself in trouble, buddy.
Chance to make history if we can come back in these finals. Well, that is a way to spin it, Kevin. Back to you.
All right, David Banks. And the Kings making a change here. Holmes checked in. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the
I'm pretty sure that could have been a block, 2K.
And the first one drops.
Like, everything doesn't have to be a foul just because I when I'm there, you want to either make me not be there to make a decent play on the ball. Then I'm there and I have a high vertical. This has nothing to do with interior defense at this point. We're talking about guard to guard. We're talking about elite guard versus a regular schmegular guard, a starter. Nice. Blocked and rebound. So they've been paying attention to me. Playmaking is high on my build too, buddy.
Even though it's less spectacular.
Actually, playmaking might be a little bit higher than slashing. Not attribute-wise, but just badges-wise. My dimer is at Hall of Fame. What else? Quick first step is at Hall of Fame.
How long they can keep it going. At some point, you expect the defense will adjust.
To the left wing, here's Copain, and another three for Sacramento.
and they're getting their points now almost exactly.
They already think that some people are already saying though. Like I think I was listening to iPod and some of the guys that was on him with the stream. They were already saying that Slasher is gonna have a hard time this year. I was like, well, Slashers have had it. We've had it relatively easy to a certain extent, I guess. They've been relatively powered, or been able to do everything a lot of times, more than some other builds, not more than shooting. But still, Slashers usually have pretty good defense, can dominate on the dunks and stuff like that. So.
Outlaw with it. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Here's Starks.
We'll see if they can finally
Texans don't plan to dress Deshaun Watson on game days, facing 22 law school suits.
right now.
Yeah,
This is the
whatever.
kind of game fans pay to see.
Forbes the pass to Holt. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all
They
the
kept
contact.
speculating about my team wanting to get on the Eagles, and I'm sitting there like, okay, whatever.
Look at Black Hole.
I'm like, give Jalen Hurts a chance
Such a great play. So
at this
team's
point.
changing it up here. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that
Like
time.
this year, I don't know what it was. The only person that didn't get counted out this year at
It's deflected.
wow, okay. You think I would have been able to finish that one since I went all the way past them?
And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball.
Yeah, I think I should have been able to pass out that too. Whatever. Ref, come on, let's go.
And so here's Sacramento. And Black Hole's going to pick up the foul. That'll be his
Yeah, that
second
always
foul
makes
of the
sense.
game.
Meanwhile, when you're in the park and somebody's spamming the square, you know, they can just take the ball.
Going with the whole new group on the floor.
Makes sense.
Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in.
But this is what this is. The fourth game, this is their closeout game. So now they got 2K got to,
In the game for Sacramento.
the AI got to play tougher, I guess, whatever. It's honestly, it's not even playing that tough. To be real with you, like 76ers played me the toughest, and this season on Timberwolves, that one game that they beat me, they played me pretty tough. But this is not actually playing tough. If I'm doing whatever I want to do to a certain extent, if I'm still getting to the line,
And both free throws good
well,
for
they
Starks.
took me out
The
though,
Kings
so I
trail
wouldn't
by
have.
3.
So point-wise, it doesn't look like that. But if I'm talking about just being able to move around the way I want to and stuff like that. Usually, when I play Ben Simmons, I can't get around Ben Simmons to the point where I have to be forced to pass the ball in certain situations, and my bigs won't shoot.
Now the pass to Forbes.
The only thing that's making this difficult is they are doing some good interior defense. So.
Rebound by the Heat.
Well, he was in rhythm, hitting 2 threes in the opening quarter.
Nice there, getting the reverse. Love that.
Dang, I lost my
the
train of
fans
thought.
got a little show there.
Guys, that one definitely had a little something extra on it. And out of bounds as the Heat gain
Good
possession.
job, buddy.
Jared Allen's checked in for
Let's
Sacramento.
go.
Porzingis, he's checked
go.
in for the Heat. The Heat leading by 3.
Get off me.
Here's Starks.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. Here is Forbes. He's got 10. Sacramento again missing.
All the way.
Mitchell, and then Mitchell with the dunk.
If you can't see that lane, that's on you, bro. That's why I gave it to you. Don't be stutter stepping. Just go. This is the second. I played with him in 2K19 though. Played with Donovan Mitchell. We were like the with a slash
No
brothers.
points in the game yet for him. In transition, here comes Miami.
We've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration.
Boy, if we had still had Jimmy Butler,
in transition.
it'd be like 2K19. I think that was like my 1, 2, 3, and I don't even know who played 4 on that team. Of course, we had Rudy Gobert because I was in Utah.
And he threw down that 360 like it was.
Because Orlando didn't want
That is just insane skill.
2K gotta be flexible with these contracts things, man. There's a lot of unconventional things that happen sometimes with certain players, just based on them being able to play the game at a certain level. So, to me, if I win a championship, 2K gotta understand if you win a championship the first year, and you gave them a 1-year contract, you gotta give up. You gotta give up the bread at that point.
Allen dishes to Forbes.
Whether you do a 1-year type of contract where you, like, if you're trying to do it within the NBA, okay, whatever, I guess. So maybe you just give me another 1-year contract, but it's more of that 31 to 35 million in that range.
This is incredible.
Like I said, it has nothing to do with VC.
You see the confidence
Y'all never gonna give us enough VC in those type of situations, anyways.
Here's Horton Tucker.
And I say that because when I talk about the contract, people always think about the VC, and I'm like, bro, no, the optics of the actual game, to what happens in real life, based on what happens in real life. Good, well, 2K gonna give you. Just listen to what I'm saying. 2K ain't giving you no dang on VC like that.
He's got 10. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground.
I wish I could transfer this VC over to the game. It doesn't make any sense to have the same kind of type of currency and not be able to move it over.
Floats one up. Horton Tucker's shot is off.
If I had PS4, it would. I mean, if I bought the PS4 version, it would. What the heck? That's not where I was passing the ball.
That's to Porzingis. Over Allen. Porzingis can't hit. And so Allen will bring it up for Sacramento. They trail by 16.
You couldn't let me have that.
Sacramento moving it around. Horton Tucker, and it's good off.
Couldn't let me have that steal.
Horton Tucker's got his first basket of the night. Here's Starks, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact.
Don't put your hands up. You should have stayed out the way.
6 of 6 from the free throw line.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business.
You knew what was coming. I was forcing that one, too.
Sacramento's gone 6 of 14 with the 3-ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Here's Horton Tucker. Covered by Mitchell. 6 to shoot.
Which guy wouldn't
Here's Forbes.
Yeah, I wouldn't even like me in real life. Prodigy. Not me, necessarily. Prodigy. You wouldn't like Prodigy.
Dominant performance last game. Same thing.
Because they complain about LeBron bulking up his teams. Dog. I got AD in my second year with Andre Drummond and DeRozan. And then they traded Andre Drummond for Blake, so I ended up with Blake, DeRozan, and AD, along with Tyler Hero and the regular Heat roster.
On the sideline, let's catch
and
up
then
with
we
all
just
the
kept building from there.
Hey guys, what black hole in that last game against the Kings?
Because I got Carmelo
He had an impressive number.
at one point, so I got Carmelo in championship. Because he retired, I figured he was going to retire.
The numbers in that game make me anxious to see what he can do tonight. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks. It'll be interesting to see, Greg, how much of that performance carries over to tonight.
And Kevin, different scenarios call for different measures.
Good disrespect.
He is a highlight reel unto himself.
That could be a contender.
7:32.
The Heat have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line. That's good from Antetokounmpo.
And really, the ceiling for Antetokounmpo is limitless. I mean, he has the potential to be a Hall of Famer one day.
Allen's shot is off.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Holmes with the steal.
Right.
Starks with the steal.
A steal for a steal.
Break for the Heat.
Since y'all at least mine was skill based.
And they're getting points, they're getting stops, and this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but they're tough to replicate.
Copane passes to Horton Tucker.
Yeah, I don't think the Patrick Mahomes,
He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
how the Bucks did against Patrick Mahomes is a fair assessment when they didn't have an offensive line. I mean, it happened. They lost. I'm not giving the Chiefs, I'm not giving the whole team an excuse. I'm just saying that we all knew the offensive line was kind of
Especially considering it's on the road.
It's a little bit more valid to put especially the yo, what's good? Prodigy's last run, man. until 2K22. But last run of 2K22. Last game, last championship. Now I probably won't retire him though.
Here's Coping, and it's sent back by Drummond.
I feel like Drummond saw that.
But one day when I'm bored, I might pull it back up and keep playing.
Look at him punish that.
I did that with 2K13. I don't know, about a month ago. That wasn't Prodigy though. That was Prodigy is me, but that was actually my name, because this is when it was strictly offline stuff.
Of the two offenses here tonight, you can tell theirs is just a bit more insane.
But yeah, they
better patience, better shot
they killed that.
so far. But we still have
I won 7 championships on 2K13 with that build. That's when they had like I don't even know. I think it was like a 3-point build. But it was like balanced. You start off with a 3-point, that was your strength or whatever, and then your player would balance out. He was like 6'7". Got drafted by Detroit. I talk about this all the time because it was just an ill situation. I got you with a follow on my YouTube channel. Dude, we already did that. The last stream I did.
So the Kings will take it the other way. Here's Horton Tucker. Controls
Outlaw! Perfect position.
You got that many subscribers on YouTube, you didn't notice, I guess.
Open with the rebound.
He is so good attacking the rim. It's rare to see him denied like that.
Anyways, whatever. 2K13. like I said, I got drafted by Detroit, and because I recognize your name from the last stream, so I already know you. That I already subbed to your YouTube. You just don't pay attention, apparently. I guess that's the luxury of having some more subscribers. You don't have to pay attention to that. I don't have subscribers like that, so I pay attention. But anyways, like I was saying, Detroit, got drafted to Detroit. That's when you had to have those 2-year, 3-year contracts. Like 2K was making you stay in a certain team unless you traded yourself out. My rookie year, Tayshaun Prince got injured, so that's why I like to have guards at 6'7" around that size. Because even though Prodigy's not 6'7", I wish he was. We'll see with 2K22. Yeah, they Tayshaun got injured, so I got to play 3. And then when Tayshaun came back, I was still in the starting lineup, playing the 2. Then I think we had CP I think we had CP3 or something like that, and
And he sinks the second.
I won a championship with that team.
First half of the game.
Basically playing the 2, basically playing a combo guard. Yeah, that's what it was. I won the championship playing the combo guard, thinking they was gonna give me the number one spot after that, because you know the roster's gonna change. They brought in CP3, so as soon as I could, I got CP3 out of there. We got Dwight Howard, and I won another championship. Then I won a third championship. And then I went to Sacramento and won 4 there, and then went to Chicago. And I never retired that build. 2K4, I played that one so much that I didn't even play 2K14 or 15 as much as I should have on PlayStation 3. That's how much fun I had with that build.
Well, if you want to get into your offense quickly before the defense can set up, creating turnovers is a
I think 2K14 I went to Chicago. Which is hard because Chicago for the last 10, almost 15 years have had people in every position. It doesn't necessarily mean that they were all that great at the position they played or whatever, but it's just hard to, like, they were legitimate starters at least. So you're just like, going to Chicago is not, like, even right now, it's like, especially now, it would not be the easiest one to go to. Like, obviously you're gonna take over somebody's spot. If you're the guard, you're gonna take over Lonzo's spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point you're gonna take over their spot. But I mean, but to know that you're the guy off the rip, coming in, going to a certain team, because you know they don't, like Boston, for instance, it's Schroeder and Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is really good, but you can get past Schroeder definitely, and Marcus Smart is more of it's darn near like having in football having like a nickel back basically. Marcus Smart is gonna come out there. There's an obvious reason why Marcus Smart has his position. He's an important player to the team. He's coming out there to play for a specific reason. Defense, rattle players, you know, stuff like that. He can start, don't get me wrong, and stuff like that. But in the video game part of it, it's like, bro, you're trying to be a Hall of Famer. He's not necessarily going to be. He's not necessarily going to be the elite guy that you're. So it's going to be easier to overcome Marcus Smart team. It's not like you're going against Harden, Kyrie, even though he be hobbled half the time. And what you call it?
Sacramento again missing.
Westbrook, stuff like that. Those type of guys. Like, I didn't go to Phoenix. Well, I might have went to Phoenix in 2K21. Phoenix or Dallas was like the 2 ones that I was thinking about going. Oh, or the Spurs. I did have the Spurs too.
Now it's winning time.
Davis with the double team.
But Phoenix, I probably wouldn't have went to Phoenix because of CP3.
Allen with it. Now guarded by Starks.
And obviously he's a vet and he's going on the older side, so like I said, you still could overcome that. Because like I said, it's just a video game. They're gonna put you in position to be a starter. But I like to position myself where I'm definitely gonna be. Like, technically, if it was real life, it would be day one. 2K puts you through that 20 games on the bench type of thing, 10 games on the bench type of thing, because, you know, that's part of the story. And on Madden, honestly, I turn off instant starter a lot of times anyways, because you want to kind of go through that process anyways. Usually you get put as a starter before preseason anyways, though, because you got to play preseason on Madden, so it's a little bit different.
they just won't miss.
Especially a face of franchise, they're controlling more than what they need to control. You see why people always will come back to 2K to play their creative mode? It's because it's not a controlled story or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I like face of franchise, but you can open it up so much more. Only thing that's like wide open is you can legit play with the whole offense and defense. Which that's not. I turned that off. That doesn't really make sense to do that. That you have full control over that. It's mainly when you play, I think quarterback and what you call it, quarterback. I think defense will let you have all control. I don't think wide receiver they let you have full control like that. But I'm just saying, 2K and MLB The Show have probably two of the best ones because it's a lot more flexibility. You're upgrading. Is better in that sense.
The struggle is real. He's been way off with his shot all evening long.
You have full control over your player. You're not throwing ducks. That's one thing I hate about that. If I'm playing quarterback and I got a one-on-one situation, I shouldn't just be arbitrarily throwing ducks, especially not a little dang on slant or a 50-50 ball. The defense shouldn't always automatically know what's going on in that situation.
To keep Davis from getting his points. Now he goes to the line where he's been shooting in that 80% range.
I just blatantly call it cheating. I think it's a cheating. I think they got a cheating algorithm.
They need a good offensive possession.
Because when you can see that, when you can see the defense is coming, right where your wide receiver is supposed to be. Okay, not really what I wanted to do right there, but whatever. Since it didn't go my way, it still didn't go my way. I'm going to force it.
Outside for Bagley. Sacramento moving it around.
I need to get a hard drive for this too. That's why I need to ask. I need to ask the homie. I need to ask him that the other day. If you're still on the stream, how much space you got on your PS5? Because I was looking at my PS5 and I'm like, really don't have that much space. And then you see you downloaded both. Because you got the deluxe.
Covered by Starks. They need this, and Davis sends it back.
And for his offense,
wow, that's what you do? You got me step back? Pass the ball back, nigga.
Here's Starks.
Had a wide open shot, and you over here making me step back. I'm trying to drive, 2K. What the heck? Will you pull the trigger? No, nigga, you know what's going on. Stop.
Forbes the pass to Barber. Here's Poirier.
Dog.
Pass to Forbes.
I think I was able to get out of that.
Rebound by the Heat. Davis has got 11 rebounds in the game.
Making sense.
I don't know how many shots he's missed this quarter, but they're going to have to find offense from someone else.
Sacramento's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
Why do they always do this advertisement when you're trying to?
Holmes checked in. Drummond's
nobody wants YouTube Premium. Not well, I won't say nobody. But I don't want YouTube Premium. I'm trying to look up something right quick.
Now Robinson. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Back to Robinson. Offline with his three. Robinson's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Out left to the wing.
I knew this nigga wasn't paying attention.
Pass to Forbes.
Y'all just hop on people's stuff and looking for somebody to follow you and don't even pay attention to what happened. That's what I was looking up. Looking up the last comment that I had on there, that DH baller dude. I knew I had seen You commented on my last stream. That's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas don't pay
There's
attention.
38 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Starks.
That's why I stopped putting stuff for self in my stuff. Because that's the type of stuff that be going on.
To this lead. I mean, he's provided almost all of their offense.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Forbes, the pass to Hawkins. They'll take his third and fourth free throw shots at the game right here. And he makes the first. And the Heat making a change here. Mitchell's checked in.
I said the thing started at 7 and y'all still taking forever today to start the day. What's going on?
Now, here is Starks. He's guarded close.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean,
Like, I knew we were going to start at 7, but I don't.
that one to go down.
Free throw good, Starks. 12 seconds left in the third quarter.
I'm going to finish my stream
Here's
before y'all start playing.
Over Mitchell.
Maybe.
Misses there.
You need strength, you need length, you need a strong frame and quick feet. Donovan Mitchell has all of that. That's why he could be one of the best stoppers in this game.
And so it's the Miami Heat enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. Their defense has been active and effective. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Let me tell you, when you can run offense through your bigs, you give the defense just another thing it has to try and take away.
And it's time for more of the NBA Finals on 2K Sports. What a time of year. A moment now to reset the lineups. Brought to us by
1 quarter left
here for the fourth quarter
until Prodigy Starks becomes a 6-time champion. So I'll be the all-time leading scorer. I'll be a 6-time champion, 6-time Finals MVP. That's disrespectful.
Oh, let's go home.
Look at
That
this.
was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game.
But yeah, 6-time MVP, 6-time Finals MVP, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Really like that. If I can get 2 or 3 in my career, I don't have to have the same amount of that I have on defense or whatever. Because if you get first team defense, that's all that really matters. To be honest with you, because Jordan had like 9, so I'm a big Jordan fan. So Jordan had like 9 first team in his whole career. So that's really what I care about, is that. But if I can get like 2 or 3 defensive player years, I got 4 this time. With this guy, I'm good. Plus, I gypped AD from getting more defensive player years. When AD came in my second year, I got defensive player of the year my rookie year. AD came in my second year and got defensive player of the year. His third year, he got defensive player of the year. And because I got more bigs on the team, it canceled him out. So my fourth season, I got, which I still should have been. Even if I don't win defensive player of the year, I still should have been in the running because I led the league. Been leading the league in steals every year. So it's been like 3.5 or 4 steals a game type of situation. I mean, I got my career high is 12 steals. So I just got that recently though, before the season ended. But I did have 13 in the postseason, and that was like probably year 1, year 2 type of situation. I don't know. It's in the record books.
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. to the inside. Allen.
But yeah, all-time leading scorer, all-time.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone.
I think I'm probably like 20-something in steals. I might be. I'm high in assists too, I think.
And Greg, we see him do it time and
Well,
again.
maybe not assists, no, because John Stockton got like 15,000 assists. I don't know. I may not be that high in assists.
Here's Gibbs.
I do have a good bit of assists, but not like.
Here's Horton Tucker. Off target from outside.
I'm past Dwayne Wade though.
Here's Starks.
So I'm probably the all-time
Coming up, and they call
on the Heat, at least on the Heat. Because I would assume somebody like Dwayne Wade or LeBron or somebody. Well, LeBron went there long enough to be the all-time like that, even though he passes a lot.
Here's Horton Tucker, covered by Starks.
Unless it's somebody like Tim Hardaway,
Here's Gibbs.
which I could be past him for all I know too.
Nice D from Porzingis.
Starks. He just notched.
I definitely passed Wilt.
On that one.
I have 147
I'm not sure even he
in
can
a
believe what's going on right now.
career high season game. Got 151 in the playoffs.
And so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
I've averaged like 80 points a game,
Tried to get into your opponent's
like
head,
just for the
forced
career in
him
these
to
6
go
years.
somewhere else with the ball, and he did that.
And the Kings making a change here.
It might be 88, to be honest with you.
Shooting foul as the whistle
Because these
blows.
latter
They'll
years
shoot
have
two
been
free
like
throws.
90 something. Especially these season 5 and season 6 has been like in the 90s.
And both free throws good for Starks. Sacramento's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third
And the
quarter.
majority of these we've been playing
passes
on
to
Hall.
Gibbs.
Majority. That's just how good this build was. And the majority of these were on Hall of Fame.
And the pass to Gibbs.
Like, I knew
To halt the run.
that I had to bump it up,
And foul on the shot.
bump up
So he'll get a
the
chance at
strength
line. It goes
faster
on
than I
Justice
ever had
Winslow. First free throw is
in
good.
years, to be honest with you. Because rookie year, you're not starting, you're not getting that many minutes, so I'm not gonna focus on playing Hall of Fame like that, in the beginning of the year. When you're, but you could tell me coming off the bench, I was already getting
Really taking it to the opposition.
40, 50 before they even established me as a starter.
The ball here for the
So it was already getting out of hand.
They've been struggling
Like
out
every
on
game, I was
Yeah, a
like
bit of a dry spell for sure.
outdoing myself.
baseline try. It's rebounded by
So we had to.
Porzingis.
I started
Porzingis has got 10
All-Star
rebounds
probably.
here tonight. So active. And the dunk by Winslow.
We're going to see a lot of this from Winslow in the coming years. Explosive young talent.
Then had to bump it to Superstar, and then I didn't stay on Superstar very long either though.
Passes it to Gibbs.
That whole playoffs, that
Here's
whole
Floyd.
first playoffs was
Covered by
definitely Hall of
Winslow.
Fame. And then
Pass to
that
Gibbs.
whole
Just 5 to shoot.
then the rest of the 6 seasons of Hall of Fame too.
From beyond the arc, a key part of their initiative this entire.
Because once I got quick step
Interesting
on
approach
Hall of
coming
Fame,
down the stretch.
really on
Looking
gold,
to rack
but Hall of Fame's a whole nother level too.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood.
Oh
in
snap!
the water.
I got a
Outstanding
Detroit
score
style
for the
pizza.
champion.
Sacramento's gotten 3 of their 6 three-pointers to fall here in the fourth.
Y'all ain't showing
Here's
anything else
Kobe.
interesting.
Down
The game
to
still
hoop
ain't
it
started.
goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots.
I could have
from the
left my
floor.
iPad on
And
the
he's
charger.
really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Here's Starks, and that'll be 2
Because
free
obviously I
throws
wasn't
coming
gonna turn up the
Officials on
volume while I'm
foul.
streaming. So
Free throw good. Starks.
that's the other
Both
thing.
teams
What
making some changes
affiliation
here.
should I go to?
And both free throws good for Starks. And for Sacramento, they're
You
shooting
got the Vipers, you got the Beasts. See, I wasn't privy to this last year to even have an opinion on it because I didn't have like PS5. Like I said, if Sony didn't botch up their pre-orders, I think me and my homie Brandon would have had one. Shoot, Tyson would have too though. They didn't botch up the pre-orders, we would have had it.
Starks. There's another. He's been absolutely
Tyson got his in time though.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
To play 2K21 and within the cycle. See, by the time I got mine, the cycle was darn near over, and it was already presumed as a crappy game.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart.
Alicia Keys, she's playing Lift Every Voice. Yep.
Gibbs passes to Copain. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
I bet you tons of Americans think too, well, why they're playing, why do we even need to have a black national anthem? You know how that goes.
Here's a start. And the
Niggas can't have
call on
nothing,
the shot.
but
It sends him to the line.
Clearly a foul.
it's like, bruh, come on. I bet you that's what the thinking is. A lot of people don't even know we have one. Some black people don't even know we have a national. I know because I had to learn it to a certain extent. When I was in Boy Scouts, because my Boy Scouts, that's all we had was. I was in Boy Scouts at the first church that I grew up in. Well, not grew up in, because the second church is the church I grew up in. But the church I was born in, basically, had a Boy Scouts. So I would go over there. By that time, I was already at the other church, though. But, you know.
Miami grabs the miss.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is,
Starks. It's a black Boy Scouts, basically. Meaning it just had black kids in the Boy Scout. No, not like it was. But, you know, whatever. So when you're black, you make sure culturally you learn those type of things. My dad already knew it because my dad's a singer. So we had to learn it too.
Turner finds Goodwin.
And that's probably when I first learned it. Was in Boy Scouts. Lift Every Voice. I don't know it all though. I know most of it.
And that's rocking the rim. Give him the 2 points and tack on some.
There's a part on there though that you gotta be ready to hit that note, boy. Facing the rising sun, you gotta hit that dead on, boy. So you might want to start off. If you can't hit no falsetto or you can't sing high, you might want to start off a little bit lower than you normally start off. That facing the rising sun will get you. It gets me whistling.
Starks. Wow. We are going to remember that.
Of course, they showing Madden.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was.
They're actually showing the Bucks and the Cowboys.
And got the ball here for the Kings.
Oh yeah, cookies. Let's go.
Starks. Right now, they need the basket. Rising and punching it. That was an angry finish.
He wanted that dunk to stand out for sure.
Is Pelicans on the East too?
The Kings shooting only
I mean on the West.
From the field. Plenty of signs
I think Pelicans on the West too.
Today. Here's Poirier. Turner covering.
I'm still trying to figure out where I'm gonna go. I definitely don't know where I'm going WNBA. And there's smaller. The process for that is not even in depth though.
He's guarded closely.
To be honest with you, I ain't even really looking at the roster for that one.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Because I don't even know how involved that one's gonna be. No one's gonna leak out footage of WNBA early on.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
You're gonna get those later on. You might get one. Well, I don't know if you know. Marcus Gento had like he didn't want to play it, so I don't think you're gonna get one from Gento necessarily. But I don't think Chris Move never did one anyways on last year. It's too it's too rigid. I hope they loosened it up for 2K22. I don't know why they didn't want to integrate females versus, like, dude, it's the park, bro. I don't know why they didn't want to integrate that though.
Here's Copain, covered by Starks.
I don't think they could properly balance it anyways. Because I feel like females, once they get to the park, they should be able to dunk. And how do you relegate that when you're trying to balance that from the league? Obviously, in the league, you can't dunk like that if you're a guard, Bill, in the WNBA. So.
And just trusted one another.
And you darn near got to be a Brittany Griner or Candace Parker build to be able to dunk. At least a Leslie type of situation.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Oh, 169, 170.
Free throws good from Turner.
And the ceiling Turner has is impressive. Has the potential to be a dominant big man in this league.
Poirier passes to Copain. Can't hit from in close. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone.
Wow.
Everything they've done has worked.
It's blocked. Here's Starks. And Starks hammered home.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding.
Absolutely. We gotta tie up with Jordan. Of course we're gonna block out the noise. Well, I am at least. 122 and 7. Well, that's 3 fouls.
And he makes the first.
89. 90.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. 27 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Left side, Griffin.
Pass it back, because that's not where I was passing it.
Now,
what's the point of using the stick if it doesn't go directly where you're supposed to use it? I passed it forward. You knew where I was going, 2K. Even if I press X, you know where I'm going. Like, just stop the nonsense. You know exactly where I'm going. It's wide open in the paint.
15 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
You pass it off to the side. For what, nigga? I'm not even paying attention to him. To the point where I'm just like, nah, give it back.
And it's just competing. You know, giving your best when it matters most.
It's called killer instinct. It's one.
That's disrespectful. How you gonna steal the ball right at the buzzer?
To finish.
Oh, and it's over.
In time to steal. It looked like it was in time to steal the ball too.
Well, they did it, and as they celebrate, you can just see the relief, the exhilaration that comes from.
Feels good, doesn't it, Devin Booker?
They work together.
I'm out here giving people their first. I got Jimmy Butler's first championship. I got Carmelo's first championship. Now I got Devin Booker's first championship. Porzingis' first championship. I got Greek Freak his first championship. Before he got in real life. AD, same thing before he got in real life. Man. You know, obviously Tyler Hero and the Bam Adebayo and, you know, stuff, guys like that. They about to do their picks. America, 76% thinks that the Bucks are going to win. Florio thinks the Bucks are going to win. They never truly put you in position. See, I got the MVP like I was supposed to. The finals MVP thing, but when we win the conference finals, they don't put me in the middle holding the thing. 2K, it's my career. You have to make sure that every moment like that, from an optics perspective, is about you. Like, they should have had me have both in my hand at that point, if you're gonna do that. I mean, it don't really matter that if I hold that one or not. Anyways, as long as I got the Finals MVP, you know who won it. NBA, Miami Heat NBA champions, 80 wins and 2 losses, and I got those guys back. I lost to the Timberwolves, and I made sure I got them back. Lost to the 76ers, and I made sure I got them back. Almost didn't beat the 76ers, though. The last parade, the Prodigy starts at 2K20. Do fans matter in 2K22? You know what? It probably does because you probably still have to have endorsements. But you have a quest mode. You have more of an RPG, GS type of thing going on. So, which is kind of nice because now we can kind of float around. So that's what I plan on doing tonight for a little while. Like I said, I gotta go to work. Like a 9-hour shift, something like that. Yeah, darn near 10 hours. That is 10 hours. But the break is 9.5. But you're in the building for 10 hours. So yeah, like a 10-hour shift. So I've been off for the last 2 days. That's what sucks. Like, obviously you don't care about being off, but at the same time you're like, hey man, if I could have been off Friday and Saturday or something like that instead of Wednesday, Thursday. The one is clean, but white on white.
This energy is amazing. Like, I'm gonna try to keep this short, all right? But everything we've been through, it makes this moment so much sweeter.
I like the fact that they got
and looking
some
back
of them
on that
got
moment
different
when we
shirts
won the
on.
NBA championship,
Donovan Mitchell got a.
it was
It
incredible.
may be because they're not actually a part of the team,
I get chills for real just thinking
so they
about
put
it.
different shirts on
We're
them.
the champs, baby.
No, Porzingis got an NBA
champs.
Finals championship
And I'm
shirt
telling
on.
y'all right now,
And he wasn't direct.
we're
He's
gonna
not
be here again. This exact
naturally
same
from this
spot
team.
next June. Repeat, baby. We're bringing it back home.
I done made Eric Spoelstra the one of the greatest coaches ever. He at least won 2 with LeBron, with the big 3 basically. Because I think Pat Riley won that first one with Dwayne Wade and them. So MVP, of course. I already went to the my court, looked at that. That's the first thing I do at the end of the season. Go to the my court, go look at the trophies. 82 games, 95.1 points, 1.9 rebounds. That's actually pretty dang on good, considering that I have a bunch of beasts in the paint. 11.2 assists, so it went down a little bit. It was 11.5 at one point. The Rookie of the Year, my favorite team, the Bulls, 67 games, 16.6 points, 3.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists. 6-man Spurs, 82 games, 15 points. That's pretty dang on good. 15 points off the bench, 6.4 rebounds, and 3.3 assists. Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Prodigy Stars. 82 games, 3.7 steals, 1.1 rebounds, and 0.3 blocks. MIP. Yeah, because he went from, I think he was on the bench though, but he went from on the bench going into a starting role, being the number 2 leading scorer in the league this year. So 82 games, 30.4, and he had some competition because Kobe White had brought his game up as far as scoring, and Curry was still making moves in that top 5 range, and somebody else. It was somebody new. Like, I think Ja Morant was up there. So, I mean, like, they had some people, and when I'm saying new, I mean, like, John Morant's in the same class that I'm in on 2K20, so that's what I mean by new. None of the guys that are already vets. Eric Spoelstra, 80 wins, 2 losses, first in the East, 160 points. Yeah, I don't made Spo first all NBA first team. He probably not better than Poppin and what's called right now still, but I done made him one of the greatest coaches. First, yeah, all NBA first team. Prodigy stars Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, Conrad Singleton, and Karl Anthony Towns. I guess he did pretty good in year 1 in Indiana. Then Kyrie, James Harden, Alex Walden. That's your draft roommate. My draft roommate did really good. Had to play him in the finals one of those years, so he did really good. He's had a really great career. Established himself as an actual dominant player on this team. DeAndre Hunter and Nikola Jokic. All NBA third team. Kobe White, Dame Dalla, RJ Barrett, Clifford Francis. That's another good player on the Minnesota team. Auto-generated player, but nonetheless good player. And DeAndre Ayton. All defensive first team. Prodigy stars. DeJounte Murray, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jarrett Jackson Jr., and Anthony Davis. So that's how close we probably were in the top 3 then. The Heat were probably in the top 3 as far as defensive player of the year. All defensive second team. Marcus Smart, Victor Oladipo, Kristaps Porzingis, Conrad Singleton, another good auto-generated player for Washington. Jimmy Butler went to Washington to play with him. And Wendell Carter Jr. And the all rookie first team. I'm not saying all these guys' names because they're auto-generated players, and it doesn't really matter to me in the trajectory of the game. I mean, it starts mattering more when you have to go up against them, but I didn't really have to go up against them. They were rookies. More than likely, they were probably wearing my sneakers. And then all of me. Now I just want to see what the free agency did for us. I gotta see that roster. We still got Donovan Mitchell, obviously, because these guys are on contract. AD, Devin Booker, Miles Turner, Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin, Justice Winslow. So it looks like we drafted him probably. 6'6", 200 pounds. Nope, we picked him up. He's played in the league 3 years. 32 years old. Hey. Yeah. So you want to establish a role. You want to be a role player and get a ring, basically. Damian Jones, same thing. Trey Lyles. There's the rookie we drafted at 30. Arthur Ross, Arkansas, 6'7", 219, 23. Where did you come from? Arkansas. So you probably play all 4 years. Yeah, we didn't get anybody for free agency. Anybody I asked for. We didn't get anybody I asked for, which we shouldn't have. We got Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker in the last free agency. Like, honestly, at some point, 2K's got to stop giving the whole dang on league to me at some point. But whatever. This is the end of my stream. This will be the last. This is the last stream of Prodigy Starks 2K20 version of Prodigy Starks. So this is the channel AOKid 2306. Like, share, subscribe. Back like could crack. Holla at a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.